to study the Chandogya Upanishad with our Sukshma Buddhi, or to make our Buddhi Sukshma and grasp what Upasana sadhanas Shruti Mata is hinting for us to do to begin our Adhyatmika journey and become qualified for higher and higher, deeper and deeper Adhyatmika sadhanas. It's a big, huge, exhaustive explanation and a very beautiful journey. First, Omkara Mahima is told. Then, for some time, Om Upasana we do. Thereafter, each of our Indriyas, the Devata in them, because of which those Indriyas are functioning, is that Udgita Omkara only. This is the Upasana. Upasana should be done with so much Shraddha that the Upasya should be fully accepted by us in that Pratika. Means, if I am doing Vishnu Upasana in Salagrama, my Vishnu Upasana in Salagrama should be with so much faith that even if Vishnu comes and tells me that that is only a stone, there is no Vishnu in that, still I should have that much faith that maybe it is a stone for you and the entire world, but for me it is the Vishnu only. Reaching to that state of doubtless, faithful acceptance is the result of upasana. Thus, at every Indriya level, the Indriya, behind the Indriya, the Daiviya Shakti, without which the Indriya cannot function, that Shakti is called Udgita. This is the Upasana which we are taught, we are learning, we are studying, we are trying to understand to the extent we can. But at every of the Indriya level, there is always limitation. Those limitations are what? In the Katharupa told that the Indriyas are hit by the Asuras with Papa. Indriyas hit by the Asuras with Papa has so many things. At the pure Advaita level, the Drashta Drushya impurity is still there. At lower level, Indriyas, when they are given importance, they feel they are isolated from total, they feel they are independent, therefore they are somewhat greater, that is the Abhimana aspect of it. Then they can come under the sway of Ragadvesha, means they give chance for the mana to develop. Ragadvesha toward the Indriya Vastus. Thereafter, the Dharma Atikramana is done. And also, at the Indriya level, when we live, definitely towards the Indriya Vastus, there is Bhoga Pravritti, and we feel like enjoying the Indriya Vastus. The ones who enjoy Indriyas, Indriya Vastu through Indriya, they are called Asuraha. Asusuramante iti Asuraha we have seen. When we are reveling in the objects through Indriyas, we cannot revel in the objectless awareness, the reality. That is why, to begin with, doing the upasana that the Paramatma alone, Udgita alone, is expressing as Indriya is a good beginning, but not the best or ultimate. From the Indriya, we reach to Mana. Mana upasana is though little subtler than the Indriya Udgita Upasana, still the mana representing all the Antakarana has the same shortcomings like the Indriyas. That the mana, when we attend to it, it appears to be real. Thereafter, it appears to be independent with Abhimana. Thereafter, it also, all the four of the Antakarana, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Hankara, can be against the Shastras, can have the Raga and Dvesha, isn't it? Finally, they can also have the Bhoga Buddhi towards those respective objects. Their respective objects, whatever, toward them they have the Bhoga Asakti. Once the Ramanam in the objects is done, that is called Asuratva. Then the purpose of all our spiritual journey of realizing the Om, which is Om, nothing but Parabrahman, that will be hindered, that will be stopped, that will be derailed or delayed. Therefore, all upasanas are helpful to be done every day for the definite purposes. But upasana and the upasya, they are not the goal. The goal is who is finally the substratum of all these things and the sakshi of all these things. That discovery of Atma Chaitanya, discovery of the Paramatma Tattva, discovery of the Adhisthana, discovery of the Parabrahma, to be ourselves, is the ultimate goal. Keeping that in mind, to gather our faculties, to make ourselves purified, thereby qualified, that these upasana prakriyas are given to us in Vedas in this way, in the Purana Itihasa in that way. Here we are doing Udgita as the one because of whom the Daiviya Shaktis in the Indriyas are making the Indriyas function. In the Purana Itihasa Bhasha, we call it those Purana Itihasa Devatas. They are the ones who are functioning through the faculties. So my Krishna is the one because of whom my eyes are able to see, my ears are able to listen, nose is able to smell, mana able to feel, buddhi is able to think, chitta is able to remember. And like Krishna said in 15th chapter, 15th sloka, sarvasya cha aham hrudi sannivishtaha. In the roop of aham in every heart, he alone is there. Then mattaha smritihi jnanam apohanam cha. The smriti, we can say the chitta vritti, chitta karma, jnanam is the buddhi karma, the apohanam is mano karma. So sarvasya aham, hrudi aham sannivishtaha is ahankara. Smritihi jnanam apohanam is chitta buddhi mana. So in everyone's heart as mano buddhi chitta ahankara, I am alone there, Krishna. So in the Pauranic that time, because these devatas, their katha, their leelas are interesting, charming, and inspiring because through the story where the Lord has saved, protected, devotee and sadhaka or gave him the jnanam and moksha, that gives us stronger faith. Therefore, that is given to us later. In Vedic period, the home was so sufficient for them that they didn't needed any of the other Rupa Devatas, Nama Devatas, Leela Devatas for proof without expecting or wanting the proofs like the stories. You don't see the stories like Krishna saved this or that or Rama saved this or that, that Omkara saved this or that. The stories are not there, but not required. We know the Om is the alambana for us to cross the ocean of samsara, born out of ocean of delusion, born out of ocean of ignorance. They know it and they cross it. There is no Stula Katha as it is there in the Puranas, Itihasas, and not required for the very subtler ones, those who are so purified, those who are gone beyond the unnecessary questioning of the mind intellect. They don't insist. You tell the Upasana of Omkara to do, I will do. You say, Guru, that it will take me across, I have faith. I will do it. And ho jata hai. That is up. Okay. Now we have seen up to the Mana Udgitam Upasan Chakrire. 5-10 minutes, we'll just see it more, go into the Bhashya of that mantra, then we enter into the Mukhya Prana Upasana. Udgita Upasana Mukhya Pranam Uddishya. So becoming aware of the Mukhya Prana and its functions and abilities and glories, then knowing that the Udgita is the one which is expressing as that Mukhya Prana. Thus, we are shifting our identity or attention from Mukhya Prana to the Udgita. Thereafter, Udgita to the Parabrahma. Parabrahma is my own self. Aham Brahmasmi, the final goal. Please remember, whether it is said every time or not, the entire purpose of study of all Upanishads, contemplations, understandings, outer sadhanas, inner sadhanas are to reach to achieve that state of experience Aham Brahmasmi. Every time it will not be told, because while speaking, what is said there by the Rishis, Upanishad, we are following that. Har bari yaad nahi kiya ja sakta. But keep in mind. So when we insist, do the upasana of Om as Indriyas, don't get caught up, don't get fixed your mind in that means, therefore, Indriya upasana is sufficient. No, it is a beginning stage. So when we say do the Mana upasana, it is important, but that is not the goal. We say the Prana Udgita upasana. It is better than all Indriyas and Mana, but it is not ultimate. Ultimate is to realize the Sarvadhishtanam Brahma. Never ever, even a moment, even in dream, sleep, it should be forgotten. No. Okay, now let us spend 2-3 minutes in our Prarthana mantra, Sankalpa, Upanishad mantra, Ucharana, move ahead in our study. Welcome, respected friends. You are precious. You are the chosen few by the divine to be given this Upanishadic Vidya. Now, it is your again choice to receive this Vidya and do those sadhanas, outer and inner, to reach the ultimate, the Sadhya. Om, 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 Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhya. Om Yairime Gurubhi Purvam Padavakya Pramanatah Vyakhyatah Sarva Vedantah Tan Nityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Om Jnananandamayan Devam Om Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Om Karunavarunalaya Palaya Mam Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Samasta Brahma Bhakti Yoga Dharma Vidya Acharyebhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Devatabhyo Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha Chandogya Upanishadaha Acharyebhyo Namaha Sankalvaha Tesham Sarvesham Krupanugrahena Upanishadukta Brahmatmaikya Bodhena अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणेतिहाससन्तवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषिमुनिगुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हैंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयाः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये सामवेदांतर्गत छांदोग्योपनिषदः आद्यशंकर भाष्य सहित अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम सच्चिदानंद सांद्राय सर्वातीताय साक्षिणे नमः श्री देशिकेन्द्राय शिवाय शिवघातिने। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणः चक्षुः श्रोत्रम् अथो बलम् इन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मामा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते ये उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तो ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ओम अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः द्वितीयः खण्डः। Let us chant from this 7th mantra. अतः यः एव अयं मुख्यः प्राणः तम् उद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रिरे तगंह असुराः ऋत्वा विदध्वंसुः यथा अश्मानमाकणम् ऋत्वा विध्वगंसेत। एवं यथा अश्मानमाकणम् ऋत्वा विध्वगंसते एवगंह एव स विध्वगंसते य एवं विधि पापं कामयते यश्च एनम् अभिधासति स एषः अश्माकणः। नैव एतेन सुरभि न दुर्गन्धि विजानाति अपहत पाप्मा हि एषः। तेन यदश्नाति यत्पिबति तेन इतरान् प्राणानवति एतमु एव अन्ततः विद्वा उत्क्रामति व्याददाति एव अन्ततः इति। तगंह अंगिराः उद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रे एतमु एव अंगिरसं मन्यन्ते अंगानां यत् रसः तेन तगंह बृहस्पतिरुद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रे एतमु एव बृहस्पतिं मन्यन्ते वाग् हि बृहति तस्या एषः पतिः येन तगंह अयास्य उद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रे एतमु एव अयास्यं मन्यन्ते आस्यात् यत् अयते तेन तगंह बकः दाल्भ्यः विदाञ्चकार सः नैमिषीयानाम् उद्गाता बभूव सह स्म एभ्यः कामान् आगायति। आगाताः वै कामानां भवति यः एतदेवं विद्वान् अक्षरमुद्गीतमुपास्ते इति अध्यात्मम्। ओम शांतिः शांतिः शांतिः। Wonderful Upanishad, wonderful chapter and excellent Khanda. If we are pure enough sufficient, subtle enough sufficient, regular and sincere enough sufficient in our attending to the classes, in our doing the due homework. First is the understanding, second is the beauty of that knowledge or the understanding that is gained. But this theoretical understanding and feeling, the beauty of this knowledge won't help unless we actually start doing the practical things. So, first Khanda, do the Udgita Upasana. Shruti Matas guidance, order, suggestion. Om ityetadaksharam udgitam upasit. Second, why? Because the glory of the Omkar. Starting from it is Sakshat Parabrahma, it is Parabrahma's Pratika, it is Parabrahma's Abhidhana, it is Parabrahma Alambana. Thereafter, the most beautiful explanations after Om. It is Rasanam Rasatamaha. It is Apti Gunavan. It is Samruddhi Gunavan. Fourth one, it is because of the Om that at the micro level and at the macro level, all yajnas are happening. In yajna, the ashravanam, the shamsanam, and the udgitam, they are all happening because of Om. And then all the yajna prakriyas are done as a worship to the Om apachitya. And again, the mahima and rasa, because of which the yajna accomplished again is by Om. And the phala which comes also is Om only, slowly. That is how the glory of the Omkara told. Now you start doing the upasana. So, to inspire us in this, the Akhyayika is taken up in the second Khanda, which is familiar those days and these days, any time that in the world of duality, always there are good and bad ones, both fight with each other for their supremacy, for their victory over the other. That is called as Devasura Sangrama, eternally going on. All that mantras which are sent by Adi Shankara in the Sambandha Bhashya and the other, keep it in mind. And in this way, in every bosom, heart, in every of his life, the Devasura Sangrama goes on. Outside also in the Adibhautika Srushti, in the Adidaivika, inside also in the Adhyatmika. Then the topic taken up is the Devatas wanting to have the Abhibhavanam and defeat the Asuras. They wanted to do the Udgita Upasana. Then we have seen they took up first the Nasikyam Pranam Udgitam Upasan Chakrire. Thereafter, Chakshu Upasana. Then the Shrotra Upasana. Udgita Upasana as the Devata who is unseen by the eyes or ununderstandable easily but acceptable with faith. The Devatas that are present in each of the Indriya. Remember, outer world of objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. The perceiver of all of them called as our Shrotra, Tvak, Chakshu, Rasana, Grana. Then these five Indriyas are what? Which are perceiving the objects. They are the Indriya, behind them, the Indriya Adhisthana Devatas are there. They are called as Deva. They are called as Jyoti Rupa. In that particular form, the Devata, the Jyoti Rupa, to perceive the objects. The one who is common beyond them is done as Upasana Mayas, that it is the Udgita. And Udgita, other side is Brahman. Therefore, there is no problem, no doubt at all, in doing this Upasana. Okay. And then the subsequent exhaustive important topic, who are Devatas, what is the meaning of Upasana, which we have told you just now. Then the very important three topics of who are the Asuras, what is the meaning of the Asuras hitting these Indriyas with the Papa, what is the consequence. Okay. The summary of all of that to precisely says what? One, the Indriya level Upasana cannot be highest and permanent. Two, Indriyas always are prone to be hit by the Asuras, because of which, one, in them or behind them, there will be always possibility of formation of ragadveshas. Once the ragadveshas come, we lose sight of dharma. What for these instruments are given, exactly that we forget. This is one side, inside ragadvesha. Outside, seeing the world as bhoga buddhi and that false happiness, reflected happiness through the senses of the objects is valued, is given reality, and we get lost in them, which is such a terrible, terrible reason because of which we become worldly. Again, to come back from that worldliness into spirituality of realizing the reality is hundreds of lives practice again और साधना है ना. एक बार मुझे शब्द स्पर्श रूप रसगंधों में इंद्रियों के द्वारा सुख मिल रहा है. Once this delusion is fixed in me, no, to withdraw my senses from those objects, to withdraw my mind from the senses, to withdraw my intellect from all of that, and then use that intellect to focus on the reality. Oh, Bapre, it is so impossible. The examples are you and I only. What do we do every day? With the intellectual conviction and the mind's feeling, through the senses, we are indulging only in the objects of the world with full faith and acceptance that in this way only we get ananda, sukha, bhog. Fix हो गया है ना. To such an extent that the Upanishads tell us these upadhis with which you are indulging in the world and the world of objects in which you are indulging, all of them are maya kalpita, mithya kalpita. They are never existing. What is there is only the substance. When this highest truth is revealed, all these faculties, along with ego, laugh at that knowledge. Like in a society where everybody have become habitually corrupt. If somebody comes and says being corrupt is wrong, you have to be honest. All of them put together will laugh at that person and say, "ये ऐसा नहीं चलता है जिंदगी, we have to be corrupt." Isn't it? So in a world of bhautikavadins, bhogi, when the adhyatmikata is told, they laugh at that thought of adhyatmikata. They are called Nastik and Charvaka. What is Nastikata? There is no Brahman or reality. What is Charvakata? Those world is there only for us to do the bhoga as much as possible. You know, Yavat Jivet Sukham Jivet Ranam Krutva Grutham Pivet. है ना. You be happy with the bhogas of the objects of the world as long as you are alive. For that, if you need money, just take a loan from everybody. It means Rudakrutva is equal to the beg, borrow, and steal aspects. But indulge in the world. That becomes the Charvakata. So when one's intellect gets convinced in that way, how is he available for the higher things? The whole society has lost into that mood of life is meant only for the artha and kama, then how difficult it is to get again back onto the tune of dharma and moksha, into the lane of. You understand it? That is how it is. Now, up to this we have seen the mana upasana topic. We will chant. Then we will see the meaning of it for a few minutes. Then go into the bhashya. Help yourselves in focusing and in trying to grasp too. I am chanting sixth mantra 2 times. Om Ataha Mana Udgithamupasanchakrile Tadha Asuraha Papmana Vividuho Tasmat Tena Ubhayagam Sankalpaniyam Cha Asankalpaniyam Cha Papmanahi Etat Vidham. अतः मन उद्गीतमुपासाञ्चक्रिरे तद्ध असुराः पाप्मना विविदुः तस्मात् तेन उभयगं संकल्पनीयं च असंकल्पनीयं च पाप्मना हि एतत् विद्धम्. So Nasikyam Pranam, they started doing the upasana. Okay, Granendriya. Then they started doing the Shrotrendriya, Chakshurudgitam and Shrotra Udgitam. Sorry. First Vacham Nasikyam Pranam they started. Thereafter they did the Vacham Pranam. Devatas. Then they did the Chakshuhu, then the Shrotra. Every place the Asuras were successful to effect with inducing of Papa. And what is Papa? These five things, never forget. One is going against Shastra. Two is maintaining separate individuality. Three, feeling arrogance about it. Four, having the Ragadvesha, etc. Five is like Asura, Asusura Bante, thinking that the world of sense objects are for Bhoga and the Indriyas are the Bhoga instruments and I am a Bhokta through them. These five things are called hit by Papa. Papa is Adharma and Asanga. Good, we have explained it sufficiently, thoroughly. You must be regular to catch that point. Now, same with the mana. Tadha atha mana udgitam upasan chakrire. So, the mana shakti of sankalpa vikalpa, mana shakti of the bhavanas, the emotions, mana shakti of the projections, the conceiving ideas, etc. Okay. Here, buddhi, chitta, ahankara are not told. Therefore, mana is a symbol of buddhi, chitta, ahankara. Therefore, it is talked about the four faculties, four aspects of antakarana. You take it that way. Like above also, the shrotram and chakshu is told. But the other things, the tvacha is not told. The jihva is not told out of the five indriyas. Eyes are told, ears are told. Shabda, the ears. The sparsha, the tvacha. So the tvacha's sparsha is not talked there. Then the smelling of the nose, it is not told. Then the taste of the tongue, not told. But you have to include that also. Okay, so when it is said mana udgitam upasan chakrire, mana buddhi chitta ahankara. So what is it? So the manas shakti of sankalpa vikalpa adi, buddhi shakti of the vicharana and nischaya adi, the chitta shakti of remembering all the experiences and knowledge adi, the ahankara shakti of ownership of everything, kartrutva, bhoktatva, all of them are the devatas. And the common of all of that is the omkara only. So, if you take Manabuddhi Chitta Ankara as one unit, you call it as Antakarana. So, if you take the Antakarana as one unit, the Antakarana Adhisthana Chaitanya, Adhisthana Shakti, because of which they are functioning, is the Udgitam. Doing this is called Udgita Upasana. So, they were doing it this way. Then Tadha Asuraha Papmana Vividuhu. Then the Asuras came, अरे ये लोग फिर से कर रहे हैं to become powerful to defeat. Then the Asuras came and attacked the Antakarana. Antakarana got influenced by the Asuras. Therefore, Tena Ubhayagam. Because of that, the Antakarana also started getting involved in the Ubhaya, the Dvandva. What is that? At the mind level, Sankalpaniyam and Asankalpaniyam. At the other three also, at the buddhi level, gneyam and agneyam. At the chitta level, smaraniyam and asmaraniyam. Ahankara level, akaraniyam, abhojaniyam. Has happened because of the asuras eating. That's why yesterday when we, toward the end, which may almost toward the end, we discussed the topic so exhaustively as to how our entire life, if we observe, is lived by us from morning till evening, from birth to death, of everyone. Only, first of all, at the Upadhi level. Second, within the Upadhis, the possibility of Dvandva. Third, in the possibility of Dvandva, of positive and negative, Most of the time we get lost in the negative only. A bit analysis, not much, because we have studied the Bhashya also today. That like at the mind level, to take example, Sankalpaniya and Asankalpaniya. And in the last 1 week's time, as per Shastra, what Sankalpas to be done with the mind, have we done that? And how many of the Sankalpas we have done with the mind, which the Shastra prohibited? If you see the first one is 5-10% hota hai, 80-90% is about the second one only. Think about it. Can we do the sankalpa of the kamanas, the bhogas, the mamatas, the ahankaras, all चारों अंतकरणों को ऐड कर लो या मन को ले लो पहले. All the time mind is doing only the bahirmukha sankalpa only. But for an adhyatmic seeker, we are not allowed to do sankalpa of anything. See the Gita 6th chapter. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvan asheshataha. मनसा एव इंद्रियग्रामं विनियम्य समन्ततः शनैः शनैः उपरमेत बुद्ध्या धृतिगृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न किंचिदपि चिन्तयेत्. What a spashtata that is given. As per Shastra, Nirantara Vidyamana, we have to do the sankalpa of our spiritual sadhana, spiritual evolution only, not for the outer worldly bhoga. That is asankalpaniya. But see, unfortunate we are. Even after studying Shastras, even after a bit understanding about the Brahman to be reality, even after understanding the entire world with all its seeming beauties, glitters, etc., is nothing but Vidya. Yet, in our inadvertence, is it not that with our mind, always we are doing the sankalpa for the world only? Isn't it? I have to have good house. I have to have lot of money. I have to have lot of the people to love me, to respect me, to serve me. I have to have a great position in the world. What are all of them? Asankalpaniya only. If one is in these sankalpas, he will work for that only. Then he will continue to be a jiva bound in the world. When will he realize Aham Brahmasmi? देखो सबसे मजेदार जोक. दिन भर and जिंदगी भर never we do the sankalpa of our Brahma Vidya and Brahma Prapti. And never we give up the sankalpa of Jiva Bhava and to maintain the Jiva Bhava, the sankalpa of the Indriya as well as the Antakarana Bhoga. And we say we want to get liberated. परमात्मा का संकल्प कर ही नहीं रहे, ओनली लौकिक संकल्प ही करते जा रहे. And we are in such a funny delusion that we claim ourselves to be spiritual. Is there any better joke than this? Like I claim myself to be Hindu. But what are the Hinduism's principles? All the Sanatan Dharma, Sampradaya, Samskritis, Lakshanas. I don't even know them, forget about practicing. And still I claim I am Hindu. I say I am Indian citizen. Show the ID card. But what are you doing as citizen of India? Are you fulfilling all the duties that are mentioned in the constitution? Funny है कि नहीं हमारे जीवन में? That's called a strong delusion. First, it never allows us even to gain the knowledge. Second, even if the knowledge is gained, it is left only for the study's sake, for the other entertainment sake, as if to claim, to boast, to feel egoistic. That knowledge bringing into practice we never do. This is the example I gave you one about the Manas Sankalpa. So to do with the Buddhi, if you take Buddhi's purpose is Jnanam, na? Which Jnanam the Shastra told us to gain? Neya Vastu. Again same, no? About the Brahma only we have to have the Jnana. Therefore study the Brahma Jnana giving Shastras. Listen to the Brahma Jnana Satsangas. That alone is to be done. And every Jnana regarding the world is Ajnana only. And when I try to use my intellect to know the world, I am not knowing the knowledge, I am knowing ignorance. Because world is born out of Maya, it is never there. But my whole buddhi is only to gain the outwardly knowledge, isn't it? That is called that which is not to be done by the buddhi. We are doing. That's called the asura hitting. Now think further. Chitta, third one if you take, which smritis should be there in the chitta always? Chitta is smriti sthana, memory. Only the Brahma Vidya mantras, Brahma Vidya Jnanam, Brahma Vidya Yuktis, Brahma Vidya Upamana, always they should be in my mind. Like we studied in our Upanishads, with the help of the Rajju Sarpa Bhranti or with the help of Sthanu Purusha Bhranti. What is taught? That the Rajju alone is reality, the Sarpa is Brahma, it is not real. But do we remember that sentence, etc., at least? Do we remember the knowledge that is given or gained? वो याद ही नहीं है हमको. Upamanam is not, that the example is not remembered, the knowledge conveyed through the example is not remembered. Then how do we do the sadhana? Again, in the chitta, that which should not be there as stored, only they are there. The memories of the things, memories of the beings, memories of the situations, memories of the anubhutis, memories of desha, memory of the kala. And desha, kala, vastu, vyakti, paristiti, anubhuti. All of that put together is world. All of that put together is called samsara. All of that put together is the projection, the maya. But in my chitta, only they are filled. That is the meaning of hit by asura. And finally, the ahankara. What is the ahankara as per Shastra? The small aham, which is kartru bhoktru pradhana, should drop its kartrutva bhoktrutva and should realize its identity with the akarta bhokta brahma sthiti. No? But is my ahankara doing that or always still keeping its identity away from Brahman, aligned with the upadhis? It is living only as a jiva and as a samsari. That is the meaning of hit by the asuras. So here one example is given that the devatas were doing the mana udgita upasana. Asuras came and hit with papa. Therefore, the mind of everyone who are hit by the papa is doing the sankalpa of the sankalpaniya, sankalpa of the asankalpaniya. One is told. We have explained all other three also, the buddhi, the chitta and the ahankara. So therefore, even though the upasana of udgita to be antahkarana adhisthana devata is higher, greater, deeper, subtler and inner compared to the upasana of the udgita with the indriyas. Yet, when we do with the indriyas, the udgita upasana, whatever the problems they were there, are being hit by the asura, they're all there here also. Therefore, good to do the Udgita Indriya Upasana, but not the best. Better than that is doing the Antakarana Udgita Upasana. But even that also has the problems of asuras attacking. Is there anything, sir, where when we do the Udgita Upasana, we are protecting ourselves from the impact of the asuras? Yes, that is the most important topic of this particular khanda. To teach that alone, we have started from the beginning the journey. Here we are going to start. That Mukhya Prana Upasana you are taught. When the Mukhya Prana Upasana is taught and you do it, the first benefit is the asuras try to hit. The beauty of the thing is what? They themselves get destroyed. Example is given of a stone hit by the lump of mud. How it gets itself gets destroyed. Second is the Mukhya Prana Upasana empowers all other indriyas also divinely, so that the indriyas earlier without Mukhya Prana Upasana, when they tried to become divinized, always were hit by the asuras. But now, empowered with the Mukhya Prana Upasana, they become so powerful that the influence of asuras slowly gets reduced, becomes minimized, even zero. Those in whose Indriya level the asura impact has become zero are the saints and sages, are the Mahabhaktas, in whose life, through all the faculties, every moment, divine alone is expressing or playing. That state comes to us. Now, this topic of Mukhya Prana Upasana, not hit by the asuras, empowering the devatas, means the indriyas, thus the entire Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Antakarana, becoming the Udgita Upasana only. Means the functioning of all of them is nothing but Udgita Upasana. Is such an important aspect of Adhyatmic sadhana. One of the very subtle, very indicative, very intuitive also. What we are studying is very gross. Not even studying it properly because of our irregularity in sincerity. What is done here is, after the study, the practice, through the practice, the anubhuti, the sukshmata of that anubhuti, the anubhava sukshmata is what the Upanishad is aiming at. Upanishad is not as gross as we studied so lightly, so superficially, academically as a time pass. Upanishad is the subtlest of all granthas, the highest of all, the deepest of all. It is the one to give us moksha. That level of study, that level of understanding, that level of acceptance, that level of conviction, that level of practice when we do, then the wanted result and promised result of realizing Brahman and releasing from bondage will happen. So, Devatas became observant about the Antakarana, its functionings, and realized the presence of a Shakti behind this Antakarana to work, and that is the Jyoti Rupa, and that is the Devata. That Jyoti Rupa Devata, because of whose presence the Antakarana is functioning. Here, symbolically, the Mana with its Sankalpa and Asankalpa, Sankalpa and Vikalpa, that Jyoti Rupa Devata is Udgita. That is a Upasana. Then the Asuras coming and hitting. And because of that, the Mana doing both the Sankalpaniyam, Asankalpaniyam, Buddhi also Gneyam and Agneyam, Chitta also Smaraniyam and Asmaraniyam, Ahankara also Karaniyam, Akaraniyam, Bhojyam, Abhojyam. Also, it by Asura, it is doing negative also. We have exhaustively seen. The Shloka Artha. Now, same thing with Bhashya, in which half the Shloka meaning is given less, but introduction to the seventh mantra is given more, where the Prana Upasana begins. Okay, let us start now. I am doing from the Bhashya after the sixth mantra of the second Khanda of the first chapter of the 10th Upanishad. In our Prasthanatraya Dhyena, the Upanishad Prasthana. What is it? Mukhya pranasya upasyatwaya. Mukhya pranasya upasyatwaya. Mukhya prana is the upasya. And the Mukhya prana is upasya, that knowledge and conviction the Shruti Mata wants to give to us. Mukhya pranasya upasyatwaya tad vishuddhatva anubhavartha. Tad vishuddhatva anubhava artha. That the Mukhya prana is Vishuddha, Mukhya prana Upasana is Vishuddha, is equal to when you are doing the Mukhya prana as Udgita Upasana, Asuras try to pollute that also, try to hit that also with the Papa, but they fail. Therefore, our Upasana will be successful. And what is the Upasana? The Mukhya prana is nothing but the Udgita. Udgita Omkara is nothing but Brahman. It's only upasana. It's all manasika sadhana, wherein our importance given to the upasya omkara increases more than the faculties. Thereafter, our journey still remains. That Udgita also is an object of perception, isn't it? And who is the Sakshi of even this Udgita? Who is the Adhisthana of this Udgita? That Sachidananda Brahma, the aparoksha anubhuti of that Brahman to be me is the goal. Please, I am reminding it today, fourth time. Upasana is always a madhyama, is an alambana for antakarana shuddhi pare ekagrata, etc. Don't get stuck up there. Don't get lost in that. Lost in that thinking that it alone is enough or sufficient. No. Reaching the Brahman is goal to facilitate for that, to make us qualified for that. These upasanas are given in every Upanishad, in this Upanishad, this way. Okay. Then, Mukhya Pranasya Upasyattvaya Tat Vishuddhatva Anubhavarthaha. Tat Vishuddhatva Anubhava Arthaha. For the purpose of having full conviction about the glory and beauty of the Mukhya Prana Udgita Upasana and the great result of that. That is the meaning of Tat Vishuddhatva Anubhavartaha Ayam Vicharaha. The discussion of the Devatas doing all Indriyas as the Udgita Upasana, this topic Shrutya Pravartitaha. So why Shruti Mata did not take up directly the Prana Upasana? Yeah, Shruti Mata can do it, but every time you will poke. Why not Chakshu Udgita? Why not the Nasika Udgita, Nasikyam Pranam? Why not the Shrotra Udgita? Why not Mana Udgita? So to avoid that headache, Shruti Mata, first she told all the four. Then the limitations of that. Compared to them, the Mukhya Prana Upasana is more great. When she tells it in that way, the permanently it is documented, then the students, everyone need not have doubt every time. Otherwise, every student studying the Upanishad, if directly the Mukhya Prana Upasana is told, every student will have again and again doubts, why not the Indriya Upasana? Therefore, every student has no doubt now because in the Upanishad itself, the first four, the Indriya Upasana are told along with their limitations that they are hit by the Asura. Then the Mukhya Prana is the only one when Upasana it is done. Upasana Udgita to be Mukhya Prana, that the Asura effect is not there. Therefore, that is the most useful Upasana that conviction comes to every student without any problem or doubt. That is why the Upanishad Mata took up this vichara of the Indriya Upasana, including Mana. Here Indriyas include Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Antakarana. So this discussion is an answer to the question. If Mukhya Prana Upasana is to be told as the most important, why don't you tell it directly? Why are you wasting our time in telling us about the upasana of the antakarana, jnanendriya, karmendriya, which cannot be permanently successful because they are always prone to be hit by the asuras? For that question, this is the answer. That the Mukhya Prana Upasana is any day greater and effective than the other. To convey to us that this is Akhyayika so far. Akhyayika means this particular vichara. So again I am reading, see, Mukhya Prana Upasana. Mukhya Pranasya Upasyattvaya. Mukhya Prana is the Upasya, not the Indriyas, etc. To convey that to us. Mukhya Pranasya Upasyattvaya Tad Vishuddhatva Anubhavartaha. Tat Vishuddhi means to prove that that is greater than other faculties. Tat Vishuddhatva Anubhavartaha Ayam Vicharaha Shrutya Pravartitaha. The Shruti Mata has done so far that vichara. Ataha, therefore, Chakshuradi Devataha Kramena Vicharya. Chakshuradi Devataha Kramena Vicharya. So all the Chakshuradi Devatas are the Udgita Vyaktikarana only. In that way, the Upasana Vicharana, having done it, Vicharya Asurena Papmana Viddha iti Abhohyante. But at that all Chakshuradi Indriya level, the hit by the Asuras with the Papa, that is always there. Having said that, we are taken to the next level of Upasana from the Indriyas to the Antakarana and from the Antakarana to the Prana level. Isn't it? First, the Karmendriya Upasana, then the Jnanendriya Upasana, then Mana and Antakarana Upasana, then Mukhya Prana Upasana. So we are given more and more subtler alambana step by step. And among so many things to be understood, one of the important is Mukhya Prana cannot be affected by the Asuras. Therefore, the Mukhya Prana Upasana, Udgita Upasana with the Mukhya Prana Drushti is the highest, most effective. Other ones, occasionally you may do it. Like with the Vani, you are doing the Upasana, you are singing a bhajan, right? And that bhajana singing Shakti, which is the Vak Shakti, is nothing but the Udgita. You do the Upasana. But you cannot maintain it continuously. That ability of singing bhajana, the Vak Shakti, at any time hit by the Asura in our inadvertence, can do adharma, can or have the other aspects of individualization, abhimana, and then the ragadvesha. Abhimana is that I, through this Vagendriya, say that I can sing better than others. Ho gaya Satyanash. The moment I comes, you have lost the big I. Then the entire thing is gone. After that, कुछ भी पाओ, तुमने परमात्मा को खोया. And thereafter, the ego comes into play. That it says, when I sing or when my mouth sings, others should listen, others should appreciate, others should clap, others should give me the awards and rewards. This is all the Asura Pravritti. These thoughts are Asura Vrittis. That I want to enjoy myself through my singing. How? By getting claps from people, appreciations, awards, etc. Whereas, as per Shastra, the Vani is given to sing the glories of Lord Nirguna and Saguna. Stop there. But do we stop there? We say, I am a great singer, I should be appreciated. So that is the hit by the Asuras. And it is so much inevitably there at the Indriyas level to be hit by Asuras. That don't say even almost, but exactly it is impossible to continuously do the Udgita Upasana at the Upadhi level. It is not always successful. You try, not find permanently successful. The higher than that is the Udgita Upasana of the Mukhya Prana. That we are going to see now. Okay, now the next topic is Samana Manyatu. Samana Manyat means all other things also you have to add. So Ataha Vacham Chakshuhu Shrotram Manah Ityadi. So one by one, Shruti Mata only told to tell us that you may try Upasana at all the Indriya level, but they are prone to be hit by the Asuras. Therefore, do for some time for practice sake. Don't get stopped there only. You can't succeed there. You evolve to do the higher, less failure and more successful sadhanas. That is the Mukhya Prana Udgita Upasana you reach to. Like we all started studying our small little stotras and prakaranas, we have reached to the Upanishad study level. Upanishad study is the highest any day. We don't give it up. In between, we may study again Prakarana Granthas as we start after day after tomorrow or 28th onwards. Both the daytime some Telugu Prakarana and evening time in Hindi, we are starting Adi Shankara's next text. That will continue. But our Upanishad is main. So too, you do the Indriyadi Upasana once in a while, But the Mukhya Prana Upasana should get the Mukhya importance. To bring to our cognition and practice the daily Udgita Mukhya Prana Upasana, that this topic is going on. And that is not ultimate goal. With the Mukhya Prana Upasana done and gained, absolute Antakarana Shuddhi, freedom from the Upadis, with that status, still we have something to do to listen the Tattvasi Mahavakya Upadesha, do the contemplation and reach to the level of Aham Brahmasmi Aparokshanam. Aham Brahmasmi Aparokshanubhuti is our goal. Please remember it 2 million times per day. If that's forgotten, then we आए तो हरिभजन के लिए फिर कपास ओटने लगोगे. Next one is what? As we said the other day, the Bhashyakara Shankara Bhagavan says, Anuktaha api. Anuktaha means we have 5 Jnanendriya, 5 Karmendriya and 4 Antakarana. But in the shlokas, all the 14 are not told. Some are not told. Anuktaha. Anuktaha api anyaha. The anyaha means the other indriyas which are left behind, left out, which are not said by Shruti Mata. Which are they? Anyaha tvak rasana adi devataha. About the skin, tvacha, about the rasana, the taste, even the smell also. Told little bit about prana, but not specifically. Then buddhi, chitta, hankara also are not taken or told. They also have to be drashtavyaha. About them also we have to add the same thing that the devatas have done. The upasana with the other 3 antakarana, also with the other karmendriyas, jnanendriyas which are not listed. But all of them are also hit by the asura. Therefore, they are lost in doing the good and doing the bad. And slowly doing bad gets predominant and doing good slowly goes away. Like people buy TV or in the TV now, beautiful bhajans come, kirtans come, satsangas come, we can listen them at home. That's how the Daiviya Vritti only they buy the TV. And while watching that beautiful program, suddenly when they are going to that channel, बीच में कोई सिनेमा सीरियल का भी चैनल दिखता है. And slowly the asura starts entering. So much so that only those programs we start seeing. Then the TV bought for seeing satsangas that we never see only. होता है कि नहीं? That's how the whole human life. The human life is given only to realize Aham Brahmasmi. For that only the jiva comes into the womb and onto the ground. But slowly is misguided by Antenaiva Niyamana Yathandaha, others, all of them put together living and teaching this newly born child that we have to live as jiva only, we have to live at the upadhi level only, we have to live only as samsari, we should not pursue Brahma Vidya. In that way, that fellow is so much trained that he whole life lives only as samsari. Example, look at the fellow in the mirror. Isn't it? What have we been doing so far in our life? How many were our efforts for realizing our Brahma Swarupa? And what are our knowledges given, trainings given, compulsions, impositions done throughout life by the inner ignorances and delusions and vasanas and by the outer world? All of them are prompting us only to live at the upadhi level as jiva and samsara. देखो कोई सुनता नहीं इस बात को, समझते नहीं है. They don't want to listen all this. They just brush it aside. ये सब नहीं चलता. In the modern world of technology, only learn all these knowledges and create all the bhoga vastus at the cost of the other living beings and the prakriti and indulge only as I am body and die one day. What a funny thing, You understand how much our brains are brainwashed in the Bhautikavad. Being Indian, being Hindu, being Sanatan Dharmi. Others, unfortunately, they don't have all this subtle knowledge. Even if it is there, not as exhaustively as we have. The Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa, Prakarana Granthas, running into thousands and thousands of Shastras. This much richness they don't have. We have. In spite of that, instead of being a spiritual sadhaka and person, we only become samsara. So actually, we are all hit by asuras 90%. Therefore, the asuras only are living. There are no deva in the world today. Asura means asura mante. The one who is reveling in the Brahman, they are all devatas. The ones who are reveling in the objects, they are called asura. We are all asura. There is no doubt at all. Asusuramante and living a life against the Shastras, then maintaining our separate individuality from Brahman and feeling our arrogance and entertaining ragadveshas and thinking that bhoga is only purpose of life. What a delusion, powerful. And to know that that delusion is the one in which we are caught up, we have to study Upanishads daily. And that we are doing, and slowly it is opening for us. Those are regularly coming. Those who come occasionally, then that's only entertainment to them, a time pass. But जो regular आ रहे हैं, it's a drishta phala of little development and subtleties in understanding. The adrushta phala of the grace of Shruti Mata, the divine, the rishis of the Upanishads, in terms of molding our mind to take up Brahma Prapti as the Lakshya, that's happening in us, which is so crucial. Friends, when we come tomorrow, we will see the avatarika for the next mantra and continue where the asuras habitually tried again to hit the mukhya prana also with papa. Not only they failed in influencing mukhya prana, but that effort of them made them also get destroyed. Therefore, at the mukhya prana upasana level, there is no chance of asuras entering into us. Thus, at Mukhya Prana Udgita Upasana level, our Upasana will be successful. What is the success? The gaining of Antakarana Shuddhi, gaining of Antakarana Ekagrata, gaining of Antakarana Sukshmata, gaining of Antakarana Shakti. With that, now we pursue the Tattvamasi Mahavakya Upadesha through which we reach to Aham Brahmasmi. With the other Indriya level Upasana, you are trying to do upasana, asura has hit you, that hitting asura is so powerful that you are lost in the indriyas. So, वहाँ लड़ाई like you have not hit the highway or bypass. वहीं गली घूमते रह रहे. Indriya level of upasana can never lift you up. Antakarana level upasana also cannot lift you up. Only the mukhya prana upasana. All these topics, at least 7-8 of them, are there. At least for 15 to 20 minutes tomorrow, having explained as the introduction, then we enter into the study of the seventh mantra, wherein how the asuras fail, what is the meaning of that, with the Bhashyam we study. Therefore, the goal is Mukhya Prana Upasana. Then we are to be given examples. Therefore, the Angira example, Bruhaspati example, Ayasya example, and the fourth. 4 examples are told that by doing Mukhya Prana Upasana, they succeeded in doing Upasana. And what is the meaning of success in Upasana? That's what we told you. That the Antakarana made qualified for the higher pursuit of Brahma. Thank you. Om, 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 Om. Om 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 Purnamadaha Shrutimatre Namaha Tatsad Brahmarmanamastu. All these talkings, listenings, thinkings through intellect to understand emotional feelings of joy or gratitude. Behind that, the Deva Shakti is Omkara only. So recognize Om's functioning through all of that. Next step is that Om is nothing but Brahman. Next step is that Brahman is nothing but me. Next step is this me Brahman alone is everything. Thereafter, no Dvaita, no Dvandva, no Upadhis, no Desha, no Kala, no modifications, no birth, no death, no samsara. No means NO, not KNO. That's called moksha. Play is going on. Like in that mirage water example, The water appears, the play is going on, but you don't take it as real to go and drink the water from that and get disappointed. So the play of the world is going on for the sake of play. In that, in play only there is joy. There is nothing gained or lost. Losing and gain, like cinema when you watch. Seeing the cinema is fulfillment. There is nothing to be gained from it, nothing to be lost in it. You understand? Just then every aspect of cinema, the emotional aspect, sentimental aspect, fighting aspects, comedy, सारे चीज आपको एंटरटेन देते हैं. यू आर नॉट वरीड कि क्या हो रहा है उधर. Even in the end, the hero is killed and a tragic end. You are not miserable because you are not putting your ego in that. You are not putting your likes and dislikes in that. You are as an ego is not there in it. Therefore, it's entertainment. So too, Brahman alone is playing. It's only a play without any loss or gain. That's called realization. Realization in action. यस्य नाहंकृतो भावः बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते हत्वा सैमान लोकान् हन्ति न निबध्यते. All these great quotations. Thank you. Om Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll study Gita in 5 minutes.